Yeah, and not only that, like even just in my relationship, you know, we just all work.
Yeah.
Work and no play. And
is that why you got together?
No.
No. So, all work, no play, blah, 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 kids turn up. So,
he's a perfectionist too. So
he's a perfectionist too. Oh, man. Okay,
but maybe you learned that from me. I don't know.
Well, you just reinforce each other because you kind of reinforce the whole idea that things need to be more ordered and more correct and more rule-driven and more less fun and whatever. Just bring up a little army so that you can feel safe, because when you'll feel the least safe is when things are under least control. Now, least safe means most scared. So when you're going to be most scared, what's actually in the key part of your life, which is your relationship with your husband. Did you marry him? Yeah, husband. Okay, so that's the key part. Where the breakthrough for you is going to him. So that means opening up.
We're we communicate really well, talk a lot, but we just kind of end up talking about the same thing. We never kind of get to the bottom of it. So
yeah, because you deal with the solution. Okay, so righto, so what we should do is, or we ought to try this, let's try this, la la la. What you don't talk about is how that feels.
I just never know really what it is. Like, what's wrong? I don't know.
Okay, so the trick is to develop intimacy with him, which, that'd be handy given that you've got a bunch of kids, right? So it never ceases to amaze me that we can go and form relationships with someone, we can have sex with them, we can sleep with them, we can have kids with them, and we're not intimate with them. So I'm talking about opening your heart. And what that means is talking about how you feel about whatever's going on. So I'm struggling with the 4-year-old's one thing, but when you say I'm struggling with a 4-year-old, you and him will sit down and work out methods for how to not struggle with a 4-year-old or how to get the 4-year-old to behave or whatever it is. What you won't talk about is when I'm struggling with a 4-year-old, I feel useless. I feel like I'm not good enough. Does that make sense? That's the hard opening statement, is the 4-year-old's doing this, that or the other. The 4-year-old's going to do that. You know the 4-year-old's going to do the 4-year-old thing. What you don't talk about is how you feel about that. What you don't talk about is we're all work and no play. Unless it's, around here it's all work and no play. Nobody shouts an answer out, so you just keep going. What you don't talk about, you don't sit down with him and say, in this relationship, about which I should be eternally grateful, I feel lonely. Now these things are actually simple things.
Yeah.
Because they're the truth. In other words, if you say to me, what's the secret in a relationship? What is the secret to making your life what it could be? We don't have to change any of the details. You've got the perfect husband with the 3 kids, you've probably got a house and everything. You've got cars to drive around in? Fucking fantastic. So, there's everything on a plate and not happy. Why not happy? I'm alone. Trying to sort out all this crap from your previous life and not finding an answer because there isn't one in your head. But there is one right there, mate. But we have to take the steel trap off that.
Yeah.
So what happens is that he gets close, or one of the kids gets close. It actually doesn't matter. It's anyone that you love. They get close, and when they're out there, it's okay. When they're there, it's okay. When it's there, but when they're here, you get scared. Scared of what?
I don't know.
Well, what's the only thing that's ever hurt you?
Them abandonment.
Them leaving. Me being left. Abandonment is just,
Yeah.
the the story. So it's not the story, it's a label.
Yep.
We never really understand when we say abandonment. When we say, I got left and I felt alone, and I felt devastated and I didn't think I was going to survive, now we're talking. So what happens is you actually know how to bring them in. Right? Because the desire is to have them close, so you bring them in. They don't scare you when they're out here, they scare you when they're here. They scare you because they could leave. So we call this the pull me, push you. It's kind of like you pull them in and you push them out. And they can't fucking work you out, mate.
Yep.
Because they go, what's going on here? These two opposite signals that turn up. Like, she's great. She's my mum. She's fantastic. And then she's a witch. And it was like there was a switch. This would be more accurate if I had lived at your house. And I wasn't guessing. But how close to the truth are we?
Pretty close.
Pretty close. Okay. So what do you need to do?
I wouldn't say I'm a witch, but
Wouldn't say you're a witch. Yeah. That's okay. You don't have to. They will.
I am serious at times.
Serious. So that's the word we're giving it.
Yep.
Right. Okay. I didn't know that witch and serious were interchangeable words, but there you go. What do you need to do?
But when I feel like that, I feel like I just need to be by myself. Like,
Never sort anything out by yourself, mate.
I know.
If sorting things out by yourself was work, would you be sitting here?
Mm-mm.
So when we go to sort things out by ourselves, we're dealing with a nutcase. We're dealing with someone who has no track record. Oh, I'll go and fix myself. I'm good at that.
No.
So time by yourself is what you crave, but you only crave that because the pressure's on. Because you're actually feeling it because they've got close.
Yep.
And you're going, shit man, let's get out of here. So what do you need to do?
Open up. Let them in.
Put your hands out. This is the real Megan. This is Megan's physical, mental and emotional life. Bet you've never seen this before. So they get close. The wounded Megan gets scared. The real Megan's fine. The real Megan knows that she can survive anything because she has. But does the real Megan get brought into play? No. The scared Megan goes, you just move over there for a second. So the trick is, you acknowledge that the real Megan's okay. What is the real Megan? I am...
Peace and love.
Okay, so the real Megan is peace and love.
That's what I want, really.
Yeah, well, to get it, you have to stay.
Yep.
And run the risk of being left.
Yep.
And you'll be scared shitless. Because who's to say they won't leave? Well, I want to open you up to a few facts. They are going to leave. And the 10-year-old nearly gone already.
I know.
You got any of them at high school yet? Is the oldest one at high school yet? No. Wait till you see that, mate. And be your own child, living in your own house. Not there. Because the most important people in their life are their peer group. So you better get connected now, mate. Because the chances diminish as time passes. As they grow, and go through their journey, the chances for connection with you are going to diminish. They could be extraordinary. You get connected, then you can go through as a magnificent relationship the rest of their lives. You can be there when they're having kids, you can be involved with their kids. The whole thing's got the potential to be fabulous. But you've got to be worth being with. You're the big problem, you're the one who's leaving. Because they get this close and you bolt. To save yourself from being left, you leave. You leave your body there and it talks to them. Has any of them ever grabbed you and gone, I'm over here, Mum?
No.
They will one day. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That means running the risk of
Being left.
being left. At this stage, you'll be convinced that you won't survive that. And if you're not convinced that you survived, you must be experiencing the fear of death. So your actions are compulsive. That's okay. If you understand this compulsion just comes from previous experiences that as a child I was not equipped to handle, but as an adult I could do better. And front the husband. Listen, buddy, we need to have some conversations. I don't know how you feel. I feel lonely. You must be feeling something. Yeah. Not in the middle of dinner.